Good morning, my dear healthy and strong students. We were studying about the muscular tissues. Based on that, there were three types of muscular tissues. First one was the striated and the skeletal or the voluntary muscular tissue. The second one is the smooth, or we can call it unstriated, visceral, or involuntary muscular tissue. Students, we are familiar that all the locomotions of our body are performed with the help of certain muscular tissues, which are the striated or the voluntary muscular tissues. But there are some regions in our body which also require some muscular action with the help of contraction and relaxation. The various functions has to be performed in the different organs of our body. Now let us consider our stomach or the alimentary canal. In the alimentary canal or in the stomach, the food which comes from the alimentary canal, from the esophagus in the stomach, has to be digested and being transferred to the intestinal ducts. So in this way, students, this special muscular tissue, which is specifically meant for the involuntary movements in our body and are present in the visceral organs of our body and do not contain any striations or bands or light or dark bands, is named as the smooth or unstriated or visceral or involuntary muscular tissue. So we will be using the name smooth muscular tissue for all these different names of the involuntary muscular tissue. So we understand the smooth muscles occur as bundles or sheets of elongated spindle shaped cells or fibers. If we take a cross section or peel the certain layers of a stomach, we will see there are some kind of muscular tissues. And these muscular tissues are in the form of bundles or sheets of spindle shape, that means pointed at both the ends. You can see in this figure, these are the cells which are pointed at both the ends, That is why they are named as tapered or spindle shaped. So there are spindle shaped cells or fibers which are in the shape of, which are in the bundles or sheets of elongated spindle shaped cells. Now these cells, you can see in this figure, they are uninucleated. That means they contain only a single nucleus in their cell. And the nucleus is cigar shaped. Okay, the nucleus is cigar shaped nucleus in the sarcoplasm. And sarcoplasm, you know, is the cytoplasm of the muscular tissues or the muscular cells. So it is uninucleated and the nucleus is centrally located, which is cigar shaped nucleus. Okay. In this figure you can see the nucleus is centrally located and it is cigar shaped nucleus. It contains delicate contractile threads called myofibrils which run longitudinally throughout the cell. So in this particular cell you can see, or here, there are some longitudinal lines in this present spindle shaped cell which are named as the myofibrils, which are especially meant for providing some kind of flexibility and elasticity and contraction for the particular muscular tissue. These muscle fibers do not bear any bands or stripes or striations. As I told you earlier, in the striated muscular tissue, there were some bands and stripes or light bands or dark bands, because of which it was called as striated muscular tissue. But this smooth muscular tissue does not contain any bands, stripes or striations. That is why it is named as a smooth or unstriated muscular tissue. Now students, we should understand the occurrence of this particular tissue. As I told you, I've shown you a picture of a stomach or the alimentary canal. This smooth muscular tissue is present in the walls of the hollow or tubular visceral organs like the alimentary canal, some internal organs, some ducts of glands, urogenital ducts or blood vessels. They are all in the shape, they are all certain hollow or tubular visceral organs. So that is why it is also named as the visceral muscles. And the smooth muscles are also present in stomach, ureter, bronchi, which is in the lungs, and the iris of the eye. So these are certain regions where the smooth or the involuntary muscular tissue or the unstriated muscular tissue or the visceral muscular tissue is present. There are some specific functions and very important functions of this smooth muscular tissue, that is, it is involved for conduction of the food in the alimentary canal, that is the esophagus. In that particular region, there is some contraction and relaxation of the muscular tissues takes place, with the help of which the food is being conducted in this particular esophagus. So these muscles do not work according to our will, like the movement of food in the alimentary canal, so they are called as involuntary muscles. Why are we calling it involuntary muscles? Because the action which is being performed, that is the conduction of the food in the alimentary canal, is taking place on its own without our will. That is why it is named as the involuntary muscles. And this conduction of the food is possible because of the peristaltic movement. And what is the peristaltic movement? You can see in this case, there are some regions, some areas of contraction. This is the area of contraction in this figure, and this is the area of relaxation. And with this contraction, rhythmic contraction and relaxation is named as a peristaltic movement. So these smooth muscles contract slowly but can remain contracted for long periods of time. In this way, due to this fact, they cause peristaltic movements in tubes like an alimentary canal by peristalsis, that is the rhythmic contraction and expansion of muscle cells. The food is being pushed further down the canal. Food is being pushed further down the canal in this way. Now you can see they are in the bundles, that is, they are present in the form of sheets or bundles. These spindle shaped cells that are named as the smooth muscle cells. And in some organs, the smooth muscles contract throughout the organ to produce extrusive movements, as in the urinary bladder, the gallbladder, and the ureterus, to conduct the urine in the urinary bladder or the ureterus. That is why the smooth muscles contract throughout the organ. So these are certain functions of the smooth muscles. Please note it down. You have to make this particular figure of the spindle shaped cells in the form of bundles. If you feel like, you can draw this figure also for your understanding purpose. And the smooth muscles are uninucleated, and specifically they do not contain any bands or stripes. That is why they are named as smooth muscles. And the actions which are being performed are not according to our will. That is why they are named as involuntary muscles, and they are present in certain internal hollow tubular visceral organs. That is why they are named as the visceral muscles also. So thank you, students. I hope I was able to explain you a bit about this muscular tissue. And next muscular tissue we're going to study is about the cardiac muscular tissue. Okay, students, thank you very much.